Ashwood Manor had stood on the edge of the small village for over a century, its tall, ivy-covered walls hiding countless secrets. The locals whispered about the manor, claiming it was haunted, but no one had ventured beyond its gates for decades. The garden surrounding it was just as mysterious, overgrown, and wild, with roses as big as a person's hand and vines that twisted like snake. For 16-year-old Emma, the manor was a mystery she couldn't resist. She had grown up hearing the stories but had never been brave enough to go near it. That changed one quiet afternoon when she discovered an old key in her grandmother's attic, labeled Ashwood Manor. Curiosity sparked, and despite her grandmother's warnings, Emma tucked the key into her pocket. The next morning, she set off toward the manor. As she approached, she noticed that the gates, once locked and rusted, were slightly ajar. It felt as though the manor had been waiting for her. The key fit perfectly into the lock of the grand wooden door, and with a creak, the door swung open. Inside, the house smelled of dust and time. Sunlight streamed through cracked windows, casting strange shadows on the floor. The air was thick with the scent of old wood and forgotten memories. Emma explored cautiously, her footsteps echoing in the empty halls. She found herself drawn toward the back of the house, where a door led out to the garden. As she pushed it open, she gasped. Before her lay a sight unlike anything she had imagined. The garden was alive with color and light. Flowers of every kind bloomed in wild abandon, their petals shimmering as if touched by magic. The trees stood tall and proud, their branches heavy with strange, glowing fruit. Butterflies the size of birds flitted about, their wings reflecting the sunlight like stained glass. At the heart of the garden was a fountain, its water sparkling like diamonds. Emma was mesmerized. She had expected ruins, but this was a paradise, a secret world hidden for years. She wandered deeper into the garden, losing track of time. The further she walked, the more magical it became. Birds sang unfamiliar songs, and the wind carried whispers that seemed to call her name. She reached out to touch a rose, and the petals curled around her fingers as if greeting an old friend. Then she heard a voice. "You shouldn't be here," it said softly. Emma spun around. A young man stood at the edge of the clearing, watching her with piercing green eyes. He looked no older than her, but there was something ancient in his gaze. "Who are you?" she asked, stepping back. "I am the guardian of this garden," he replied. "And you are trespassing." Emma's heart raced. I didn't mean to. I found a key, and—" "The key chose you," the boy interrupted. "That means the garden has accepted you, but it comes with a price." "A price?" Emma repeated, confused. The boy nodded. "This garden is not part of your world. Time works differently here. Every minute you spend in this place is an hour in the world outside. You've been here for hours already. If you stay too long, you may never leave." Emma's stomach dropped. She hadn't realized how much time had passed. "I need to go home," she said quickly, turning to leave. "Wait," the boy called after her. "There's something you need to know." She paused, her hand on the gate. "What is it?" "The garden chose you for a reason," he said. "It only opens to those who seek something more than they know. If you leave now, you may never find what you're looking for." Emma hesitated. She had always felt like something was missing in her life, a sense of purpose or belonging that she couldn't explain. Was this what she had been searching for? "I can help you understand," the boy offered. "But you must decide. Once you leave, the garden may never open to you again." Emma's mind raced. If she stayed, she might discover something incredible, but at what cost? Her family would worry if she didn't return soon. Could she risk losing her world for the chance at something greater? With a deep breath, Emma made her decision. "I'll come back," she promised, "but not today." The boy nodded, his expression unreadable. "The garden will wait for you." As Emma stepped through the gate and back into the world, she felt a strange mix of relief and loss. The sun was already setting, and she realized she had been gone far longer than she had thought. Her grandmother's house was just visible in the distance, a comforting reminder of the world she knew. But even as she walked away, Emma knew that her life would never be the same. The garden had changed her, and one day she would return to discover its secrets.